Yo, tapping in real quick for this UFC 308 that's fitting to take place this Saturday. Back in Abu Dhabi, where the main event, very much so, has absolutely everything on the line between Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. This video right here, we're just going to chop it up for a few minutes about some parlay options. For the prelims, for the main card, for the whole card, the Hail Marys, the haymakers, some dog plays, swap out options, all favorites. I'm going to do my absolute best as to cover absolutely everything for y'all, man. Y'all going to have to bear with me for the moment, man. My dome was cold. It's a bit brick outside, and I just got back from walking these motherfucking dogs yet again. You know what I'm talking about? So, let's go ahead and dive into it, man. I'm going to be a bit all over the place because I was putting these things together, man, and I have multiple, sheets of paper sitting in front of me just kind of cluster-fucked, you know what I mean? So bear with me, but let's dive into it, man. Something light, nothing major. On these prelims, 3 legs at plus 117. As far as these favorites are concerned, for the most part, if you're on the side of these individuals that get the job done, you know what I'm talking about? Let's dive into it. Basharat, Orobai, and Neal. 3 legs at plus 117. You add in Saeed. That's Basharat, Orobai, Neal, and Saeed. 4 legs at plus 182. You want to toss in a boost too for your 5th leg at plus 354. That's Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, and a boost. 6th leg, another favorite, slight favorite, Ishmael. That brings y'all to plus 754. That would be Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, Abus, and Ishmael. 6 legs at plus 754. You know what I mean? Couple swap out options, for this 8th leg, man. It's 7th leg. If you're still on the side of all of these favorites to be the ones to show up and get the job done for a clean sweep, 7 fights on the prelims, Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, Abus, Ishmael, and Ebo, they come together at plus 1309. You know what I'm talking about? Or, Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, Abus, Ishmael, and Hafel is your one slight dog for plus 1649. Or if you don't want to fuck with that, that dog, you might like the other dog, the slight dog, in Bruno, who's fighting a boost. We can go with Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, Ishmael, Ebo, and Bruno at plus 1930. You know what I'm talking about? So Basharat, Orobai, and Neal, that's plus 117. You toss in Saeed, that's plus 182. You toss in a boost, that's plus 354. You toss in Ishmael, that's plus 754. You know what I mean? Then you toss in Hafel as your one dog for plus 1649, or you take Hafel out and you toss Bruno in as your one dog at plus 1930, or you take both them motherfuckers out the equation and you just rock with all favorites, and that comes together at plus 1309, and that's Basharat, Orobai, Neal, Saeed, Abus, Ishmael, and Ebo. You know what I'm talking about? A 2-leg parlay on the prelims. You know what I'm talking about? At plus 285, 1 slight favorite, 1 slight dog, Ishmael and Hafel. 2 legs at plus 285. You know what I'm talking about? 2 legs up on the main card. If you like Leron and Shara, they come together at plus 129. Unfortunately, Hamzat and Shara also come together at plus 129. There's no change in that. You know what I'm talking about? So Leron and Shara plus 129, Hamzat Shara plus 129, Hamzat Shara and Leron plus 242. You know what I'm talking about? 6 legs that I really like across the whole card. I told you I'm a bit all over the place because the way these motherfucking papers are put together. But we're going to touch on some more prelims, some more main card. We're just going to be all over the place with it. Bear with me. My apologies, man. But 6 legs that I do like, you know what I mean? I'm highly invested into, and I'm all over. Neal, Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, and Basharat. Unfortunately, those 6 are only coming together at plus 528 right now. That has dropped a little bit, and it will continue to drop significantly. It's why we're doing this now. The fights are at 10 o'clock in the morning. Where I'm at, the prelims are starting off at 10. All bets, all parlays must be in, you know what I'm saying, before Friday, unless you're doing shit on the app at the house and all that, you know what I'm talking about. But you're going to be dealing with some crazy, like you're going to be putting 10 legs together at plus 528 by the time motherfucking fight night comes, or Wednesday, Thursday comes. You got to get this shit in now, man, and just, you know, let the dice lay where they lay. Hopefully everybody shows up, makes weight, no more fights get canceled, and it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But gotta get on these motherfuckers now, man. I'm on Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, and Basharat at plus 528. Listen, you could toss in Saeed for 7 legs at plus 716. 7 favorites spread across the whole card at plus 716. Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, and Saeed. You know what I'm talking about? Now we can talk about some swap out options for this 8th leg, man. Neil, Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and Bruno come together at plus 1793, or swap out Bruno for a boost, and Neil, Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and a boost come together at plus 1214. Fuck that fight. Talk about another fight. Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and Bobby Knuckles come together at plus 2046, or you swap out Bobby Knuckles for Hamzat, and Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and Hamzat come together at plus 1116. Or fuck that fight, and let's talk about the main event. Absolutely necessary. Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and Max come together at plus 2388, or swap out Max for Ilya, and Neil Orobai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, Basharat, Saeed, and Ilya come together at plus 1026. You know what I'm talking about? Three legs up on the main card. Something light, nothing major, you know. Magomed, Hamzat, and Shara. If you're on the side of these 3 individuals to get the job done, they come together at plus 186. Those same 3 with Leron come together at plus 319. That's Magomed, Hamzat, Shara, and Leron at plus 319. Those 4 with Ilya come together at plus 479. 5 favorites on the main card for not quite, but just about 5 times your money at plus 479 is Magomed, Hamzat, Shara, Leron, and Ilya. Or you swap out Ilya for Max, rightfully so. Magomed, Hamzat, Shara, Leron, and Max come together at plus 1179. If you just want to do a little dog play, or you want the dogs involved in some type of way, you know what I'm talking about, or all the way, you can catch the, you know, Bobby Knuckles Blessed Express at plus 724 for 2 legs. That's the Bobby Knuckles Blessed Express at plus 724. Or you can toss that Bobby Knuckles Blessed Express in the mix with the rest, Shara, Leron, and Magomed, to get that plus 2249. Huh? You know what I'm talking about? I would really like to see it go down like that. I would love to see it go down like that, man. Unfortunately, my pick is, and still will continue to be, on the Hamzat side of things. Unfortunately, I'm a Bobby Knuckles guy, and I get it. I get it. You know, he wasn't able to finish, you know, do what he needed to do and get Kamaru up out of there with ease and all this, that, and third. But one thing has nothing to do with the other. Styles make matchups. And I believe Hamzat right now to be a pretty bad stylistic matchup for Bobby, because I don't think Hamzat's gonna come out there as much as he's, you know, hitting the mitts and doing his little 1-2. That's what he need to do. Other individuals that are nice on the feet and lack in other areas need to take notes and work heavy on them other areas, as you're already where you need to be there. You just keep that sharp. You know what I'm talking about? Keep that ready. Just keep sharpening that up. But you got to work heavy on them areas that you lack in. Hamzat's just showing you that he's working hard on the areas that he lacks in because he's already prepared in the other departments. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I just see it being like maybe his first fight, his first 2 fights. He's going to come out there, maybe fake like he's going to touch the glove and go straight for the fucking takedown. You know what I mean? Might throw one punch and go straight for the fucking takedown and then just relentlessly chain it together and just not let it go. I honestly don't think he's going to let it go. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to, like, you know, with all due respect, it might not look as easy as he did Kevin Holland, but I think he's just going to get Rob out of there. We're not going to get a chance to see Rob fight, Rob really touch his motherfucking chin or anything to really happen. I think Hamzat's going to go out there and try to put on one of those performances where he doesn't really get touched, but he does a whole lot of touching until the fight gets stopped. And the only way he can do that is by going immediately for that motherfucking takedown and not engaging and entertaining the striking at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion. For the same reasons I said Ikram was going to get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm talking about? Hamzat does not want to play that game, especially not the fight. I know the fight he had with Ikram was way back when, and one thing has nothing to do with the other, but that was a sloppy performance from both sides until it wasn't. You know what I'm talking about? Let's not act like, you know, he don't have a relatively easy path to victory if he chooses to just take that route and nothing else, man. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm tripping. I hope so. I hope he stays on their feet for even 5 minutes. And Bobby might get him the fuck up out of there. I'll fall apart if he bops Bobby like he did Gerald Mearshart or something and gets him to fall. Oh my God, I'll lose my fucking shit. You know what I mean? But off that, man, my pick is what it is. But as far as betting and parlaying, you know, me, myself, personally, it's a dog play, you know what I mean, on Rob. And it's a must, it's a absolutely necessary swap out option for anybody parlaying this motherfucking fight up in longer parlays, you know what I'm talking about? Boy, oh boy, man. The Bobby Knuckles Blessed Express, if that comes through at plus 724, and then you mix them with the rest and motherfucking Shar Magomed and Leron come through with them for plus 2249. Boy. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. How about this dog play? Victor Daniel Bruno and motherfucking Hafel. Huh? At plus 7548, man. 4 dogs. Listen, I was so close to significantly smacking the biggest dog play I've laid all year, man. You know what I mean? But that's on me. No matter which way I would have went with it, because I was doing like a 4-dog, 4 favorite, 8 leg. You know what I mean? Absolutely trying to obliterate the motherfucking window when I went there to cash it type situation. Last minute, I took motherfucking, you know, Austin, motherfucking Cameron, Rob. My 4th dog was Michelle. You know what I mean? I tried to do 4 favorites and 4 dogs. And then on my other one, my 4th dog was Alice. So it didn't fucking matter. I lost it either way you look at it. On one, it was Austin, Alice, Cameron, Rob. You know what I'm talking about? Then it was Darren, Charles, Gene, Azul. So I was done with Alice. You know what I'm talking about? On the other one, it was motherfucking Austin, Karen, Rob. I say Karen. Austin, Cameron, Rob, Michelle, Darren, Charles, Austin. I mean, Azul. I said Austin. Azul. I don't know how to say his fucking name. I'm saying Azul like I'm ready to dip a roast beef sandwich. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. And Gene. You know what I mean? But either way you look at it, man. Either way you look at it, it was out the window. The Alice one was out the window when that lost. Then I had one big dog joint, big dog play that I was waiting for that main event. Once Rob secured the bag, oh my God. On live, I said it. I said, oh my God, if Michelle wins this one, the universe must have heard. I said, oh nah, we done gave this motherfucker too many wins tonight. Take this one. Hell no. Rub this one right in his face. Let Michelle get the shit beat out of him. And boy, ain't that what happened? He beat the shit out that young man. I mean, he Randy Coutured that young man. It was beautiful work, man. That was beautiful work. that he put on. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. I wasn't even mad at that loss. I had already secured quite a few bags and quite a few tickets already throughout the night that I was just, that would have been icing on the cake, huh? That would have been the icing on the cake. But to lose the way that leg lost, I ain't mad at that at all, man. Answered a whole lot of questions for me. Gave me all I needed to know about Michelle Piera. And, boy, Fluffy looked good, man. Randy Couture shit. The way he smothered him, the way he suffocated him, didn't let him breathe, but then offered his hand to help him up and walk him back to his corner like, come on, man, it's all good. I got you. I'm going to whoop your ass for 5 more minutes and 60 seconds, but, you know what I mean? Good round. And then just go right back to beating the brakes off of this motherfucker. I mean, that's Randy Couture shit. The way he did it, the way he implemented the game, just everything about the whole. It just looked like it looked like motherfucking Randy Couture out there in Fluffy's body. You know what I mean? It was a Randy Couture-esque performance in every sense of the fucking word, man. That shit was beautiful. He fucked him up. He beat the dog shit out of him. He embarrassed him. He big broed him. You know what I'm talking about? He young boyed him. All he needed to do was pat him on the back of his fucking head. You know what I mean? At the end of the fucking fight, because he fucked him up, man. He did everything but rub his face in the snow. You know what I'm saying? God. It was good to see, though. It was good to see. You know what I mean? Bruno and Haifel, 2 slight dogs on the prelims. They come together at plus 380. Daniel and Haifel, 2 slight dogs on the prelims, come together at plus 573. They all Brazilians, huh? I guess they probably gonna have to get it done inside the distance then, ain't they? I don't know how it's gonna go down over here. We gonna find out. 5 legs at plus 397. Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, and Shara. You know what I'm talking about? And I already told you about this 6. We already talked about them 7. Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, and Basharat. Then oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed. You know what I'm talking about? 8 legs, oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, and Ishmael. You know what I mean? They come together at plus 318. Or 8 legs, oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, and Hamzat. We already talked about that. You know what I'm talking about? 9 legs, all favorites at plus 1901. Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, Hamzat, and Ishmael. That's 9 legs. That's a Hail Mary toss at plus 1901. Or 10 legs. All 10 favorites. Not outside the realm of possibility. We have 14 fights. You understand what I'm saying to you? Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, Hamzat, Ishmael, Ilya. That's 10 legs. Hail Mary toss, 10 favorites at plus 2661. Or you swap out that 10th leg for Max just to, you know, be a bit more comfortable if you make it that far and that's all you're, you know, all you're waiting on is that last fight. You'll be a lot more comfortable if all 9 of them legs are secured and this is all you're waiting for, is if you have your door secured here as well, because in either way you're cashing it plus 2661 or 6002. You know what I mean? Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, Hamzat, Ishmael, and Ilya, 2661. Oral by Neil, Magomed, Liron, Shara, Basharat, Saeed, Hamzat, Ishmael, and Max, 6002. You know what I mean? Hamzat, Ilya, and Liron, that's plus 186. Hamzat, Ilya, Liron, and Shara, that's plus 341. Hamzat, Ilya, Liron, Shara, Magomed, Neil, Oral by, and Basharat, that's 8 legs at plus 1051. Or a Hail Mary toss, Hamzat, Ilya, Liron, Shara, Magomed, Neil, oral by Basharat, Saeed, and Abus at plus 2383. You know what I'm talking about? So it is what it is, man. You got some dog plays, some prelims, some main cards, some haymakers, some Hail Mary tosses, man. Some all favorites, some swap out options. It is what it is, man. Once again, I'm very high on Neil, Oralbai, Shara, Leron, Magomed, and Basharat. You know what I mean? That's that with that. As far as these prelims, these parlay options are concerned, you know, for right now, I will tap back in momentarily with, you know, about a half a dozen other parlays and personal parlays, and you can do what you want with them. Run with them or run from them. You know what I'm talking about? But they will be my personal parlays and, you know, where I'm invested at for the most part. Now, when it comes to how I'm running this card from most confident to least confident, and I know, nobody has to tell me, I know the money lines weren't available for the most part, or I probably would have implemented those two individuals' fights for y'all. But I don't want anything to do with them anyway. You know what I mean? Hanat Fakhretdinov versus Leo, or whoever he's fighting. I know that fight wasn't covered in this parlay video, so I will, when those money lines do drop for both of those fights, I will tap back in and, you know, for what it's worth, offer a few parlay options and maybe like a 60-second clip video or something. I just don't want anything to do with those fights, man. You know what I mean? You have fucking Kennedy and Chuckwood, and he was a minus 550 when I looked it up online. You know? Like, I don't know what he is right now. Basharat's like a minus 625. Like, these lines are getting crazy, so motherfucking Kennedy might be over 600 by the time the money line comes available, you know, through the apps for me to go ahead and add shit up. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't want anything to do with that fight. Fuck that fight, man. And Hanat Fakhretdinov, he's still to be determined in my personal opinion, man. You know what I mean? He's looked good. He has looked good up against the individuals that he's looked good against, man. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I just don't really want anything to do with that Kennedy fight or that Hanat fight. You know what I mean? I was a little bit more interested when Hanat was fighting Razibov, another individual that I know everything there is to, you know, need to know about prior to entering the UFC. You know what I mean? So I had a little bit more interest in that fight. But Leo, I don't know much about the guy. What I've gone back and watched and been able to find, researched, and did my homework on, I'm not that, you know, I have questions. Let's just put it there. I have too many questions on that fight, man. Too many questions on that fight. So I don't want anything to do with it, and I would assume, especially with it being on short notice, and, you know, not, you know, already being in the position that he's in, that he would probably be something like Kennedy. Some crazy significant favorite for no fucking reason, man. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't want anything to do with that. And then Kennedy, I don't want anything to do with that fucking fight. Nothing. One would think, one would assume, one would like to think that Kennedy should be able to go out here and, you know, get the job done against Chris. I know I picked Chris in his last matchup as a plus 250 underdog, but that was his last matchup. And, you know, styles makes fights, and I felt like Chris's style for that fight was very problematic. If Kennedy sleeps on Chris in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that could prove to be very problematic. You understand what I'm saying to you? I said it before, man. He's a little fucking firecracker. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing little about him. Kid's down there, you know, tipping 300 when he comes back into the octagon after cutting weight. You know, I'm talking about 5'8" at that. But he'll do a backflip in that motherfucker. He'll do a spinning heel kick. He'll do a flying knee, spinning sabatas to the body. Like, this motherfucker will stay very active and absolutely try his best to get the action going and win the fucking fight, man. You know what I mean? Kennedy's got a significant height advantage, a significant reach advantage. So does everybody that this young man has ever fought, though. That does not discourage him in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? He will come forward. He will utilize a bit more than that, more of that octagon than most individuals his size. You know what I'm talking about? And there's nothing that he could do in that octagon that would surprise me, man. You know what I mean? Including a victory over Kennedy and Chuckwood by catching him with something that he just did not see coming because he slept on this youngin'. You know what I mean? Fuck that fight. You have to mix all the questions that are on this fight. And even if you don't have questions on this fight, even if you're looking at this fight and you're like, man, Kennedy's just going to piece this fat motherfucker apart, you know, put them toes right in that belly, you know what I mean, and just keep teeping him and backing him up and using that jab and stringing combinations together. Chris ain't that easy to get hands on, man. He not that easy to hit, man. And even if you are that confident in Kennedy, how can you be? How can you be? As down as everybody just was on Ovin St. Preux and how he deserved to be the dog he was against Ryan Spann, and rightfully so, because Ryan Spann got him the fuck up out of there. But what was some of my main reasoning for fucking backing O Vince? Because I just cashed with O Vince at plus 500. You understand what I'm saying to you? At plus 500 against Kennedy and Chuckwood. Kennedy was like a -7 something for absolutely no reason at all and lost a split decision to O Vince St. Preux of right now. Very much at the end of his motherfucking road and on his way out is who Kennedy fumbled the bag to as a significant favorite via split decision. Chris will be a lot more active than Ovin St. Preux. You know what I mean? So Kennedy might have to get him out of here inside the distance if he doesn't want to lose another decision, man. Especially with Chris having a significant price tag next to his name, man. Come on. I don't want anything to do with that fight. Maybe Kennedy comes out there and finds a fucking finish inside the distance with quickness and just surprises me. I don't think he's going to do it, though. Chris ain't easy to get hands on, man. You might have the reach on him, but that little motherfucking no neck, head and shoulders having all body all over the motherfucking place. Come on, man. He's a hard motherfucker to get a read on. You know what I mean? He's fucking Chris Barnett, man. You know what I mean? But that's that with that. Before we touch 30 minutes, man, let's go ahead and touch on this. My most confident picks on the card in order. You know what I'm talking about? And I apologize, man, for all the extra shit holding y'all hostage and all that, man. Top of the list, Lerone Murphy, man. And I got a lot of respect for Dan Ige. But really, though, come on, man. It is what it is. He's won when he should have, and he's lost when he should have, in my personal opinion. He's very solid. He's very well-rounded. He produces a very nice body of work. It's not going to work against Lerone Murphy, man. Lerone Murphy's going to fucking hurt him. Lerone Murphy hits too hard. Lerone Murphy's too solid, too well-rounded, too strong, too powerful, all in his own right. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's his fight. He just might knock that man the fuck out, man. You know what I mean? His well-roundedness will keep this fight wherever he wants this fight to be, and most likely that's going to be on the feet hurting Dan. You know what I mean? The money line might not suggest it, but it's how it was last week too. My most favorite picks were motherfucking Charles, Gene, and Azul. Charles, Azul, then Gene. You know what I'm saying? So It wasn't the motherfucking, none of them were the heavy favorites. And I have some heavy favorites wrapped up in here, but it's not my top dog. Lerone takes the top of the list. Followed up, taking second, is Basharat. You know what I'm talking about? And we very much so need these other individuals because of the money lines that Basharat's at, man. Basharat is the biggest favorite on the card, if I'm not mistaken. Rightfully so, though, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? Rightfully so, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm more confident in Lerone, though. That's just because I know the homie. And I know what he's capable of doing. And I know what the fuck he's going to go out there and do. Basharat, I'm very high on the guy. Very well-rounded, very solid. Has produced a very, you know, good body of work. And the win over Taylor Lopez really does it for me, man. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, you know, I'm with the kid until proven otherwise or until properly matched up with, you know, opposition that I can't see myself on the other side of. But Basharat's number 2, man. Give me Lerone at number 1, most confident pick. And give me Basharat as number 2, most confident pick. Then you can give me Shara against Armin as my number 3, most confident pick. Both of these individuals, you know, have looked good up against who they've looked good up against. Armin's had a couple little speed bumps, you know what I'm talking about. But this most confident pick has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what I believe to be the individual that is, you know, just going to be a bit too much for Armin. Absolutely everywhere. Could possibly find a finish inside the distance, but most definitely going to win it via unanimous decision. So Shara comes in at number 3. Then it's Magomed at number 4 for me. You know what I mean? Don't like the price tag. Very much so hope he goes out here and implements his all-around body of work. You know what I mean? Not just attempting to sit there and, you know, strike. It is what it is, man. Ratchet, he's decent. He's decent, but go look at who he's beating, man. Know what I mean? When he cracking on jokers like Jimmy Manawa and shit like that, with all due respect. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Magomed got that all-around body of work. It's very solid. It's very well-rounded. He's proven that he can be dangerous in his own right. But, you know, if the finish presents itself, I'd like to see him get a finish inside the distance. I'm sure he'd like to get the finish inside the distance over Ratchet to, you know, better his position in the division. But either way you look at it, it'll be Magomed by decision. Hopefully it's not another split, because hopefully he doesn't spend a whole lot of time playing around with Ratchet in his zone. You know what I mean? Yuri was an easy pick. I was more confident in Yuri against Ratchet than I am in Magomed against Ratchet, but that's because I knew, you know, Yuri would go in there and, you know, put Ratchet in a fight that he didn't want to be in. You know what I mean? Make shit messy. Magomed's not going to do that. So I got to sit back and count on other tactics. You know what I mean? But Magomed's at number 4. I had, you know, I was going back and forth with Magomed at 4 and Neil at 4, but Neil came in at number 5. Top 5 is Lerone, Basharat, Shara, Magomed, and Neil. You know what I'm talking about? While I do have a certain amount of respect for Rafael dos Santos and don't like to see him at these price tags, I understand why he's at these price tags, and it is what it is, man. Neil's the pick to keep this fight upright and do the better body of work. Absolutely everywhere, man, and possibly hurt Dos Santos in the process. Number 6 is oral buy, man. You know what I mean? Because while I would have liked to place oral buy at maybe 4 or 5 and had Neil and Magomed battling for 5 and 6, I just need to see a little bit more from oral buy up here in the octagon. You know what I'm talking about? And as the level of opposition continues to get greater, I just need to see more from him before I could place him above them. And I say that knowing that he will probably look better than them and justify their price tags, while they might fuck around and justify his price tag. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. 7. I'm going to give 7 to Hamzat, man. So top 6, Leron takes the throne at number 1, followed by Basharat, followed by Basharat at number 2, Shara at number 3, and Magomed at number 4. And we have Neil in the number 5 spot, oral buy coming in at 6, and then Hamzat at 7. Because I am confident that Hamzat, unfortunately for my guy Bobby Knuckles, I am confident that Hamzat does not want to play that game. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I am also confident that Hamzat's going to go in there very early, possibly in the first 10 seconds, and attempt to implement his game. And I believe he's going to be able to do so. I believe he's going to get that first takedown attempt. I believe that first takedown attempt is possibly going to come within the first seconds of the first round starting. You know what I mean? Much like he did in the first couple fights. I think he's going to go out here and try to get this one done, much like that, and be done with it. My heart hopes I'm wrong. You know what I'm talking about? But my gut, it just keeps pulling me, you know what I mean? It keeps telling me that Hamzat's going to go out there. He's not going to fuck around with Bobby Knuckles on the feet. He saw what Bobby Knuckles just did to Ikram. He knows what Bobby Knuckles is capable of, and he knows where Bobby Knuckles is vulnerable. Bobby Knuckles, in my personal opinion, hasn't been attached and latched onto and going after the way that Hamzat's going to attach, latch onto, and go after him on Saturday. Hopefully I'm wrong. I don't think I'm due, though. I don't think I am, though. That's why Hamzat came in at 7 and Saeed came in at 8. Every Nurmagomedov is not Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know what I'm talking about? And we've seen Saeed lose, and I can see a night where Daniel comes out there and secures his own takedowns, possibly reverses a takedown attempt from Saeed to lock up his own takedown, then does good work from the top position on the ground, possibly puts Saeed in a compromisable position, possibly finds his submission inside the distance, or possibly when it gets back up to the feet, clips him, hurts him, and does the better work over the course of 15 minutes for a split majority or unanimous decision win. Like, I got questions on that fight, man. I can't even hold you. I do have questions on that fight, much like I had questions on Renat Fakhretdinov versus Razibov. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I had my 6-legger and I had my 8-legger. And I had already went to the window and put my 6-legger in, and I had already went to the window and put my 8-legger in. And after I had put that 8-legger in, highly confident in the 6 legs. But after I put that 8-legger in, man, and I got back to the crib, and I'm looking at it, you know what I mean? It wasn't sitting right, because I know Razibov, man. I know that young man's body of work. I know what happened to him against Buckley, man. I know everybody's down on him for that. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I know he's used to getting them finishes inside the distance with quickness, much like a Michel Pereira. You know what I'm talking about? So we got to see him kind of get a bit exposed, man. And one would have liked to think that Renat Fakhretdinov was just going to be able to go out there and implement his game with relative ease. But, you know, people have to do that safely without getting hurt, man. You know what I mean? Me thinking that Renat was going to be able to do it with relative ease is what made me, you know, toss him. And then Saeed, I'm like, you know, Saeed should be able to get it done, man. He should be able to get this one. You know what I mean? It's a possibility he doesn't, but he should. So they not going nowhere near my locks. I got my 6. It is what it is. I put them in, then I'll toss those 2 in, and I'll do my 8-legger. Now, I went and I did that. My 6 went in. My 8-legger went in. And then as I'm sitting there and scrambling in my brain and thinking about going back and putting in a duplicate with Razi Boff on that motherfucking leg, I checked Tapology and the fight got canceled. You know what I'm talking about? So the 6-legger secures and Saeed wins that fight with Daniel and the 7-legger secures, I'm good. And I'm almost just, I'm almost so happy I can't get the words out my mouth that fight got canceled, man. Because I had so many questions on it, you know what I mean? So that way, that leg is just voided. I just don't have to worry about it. Now I just have to worry about Saeed, as I'm not worried about the other 6. You understand what I'm saying to you? The rest of these fights promote, you know, they have questions, man. They're problematic, you know what I mean? So number 1, sitting up top, holding the throne, your boy Lee Roan, man. Coming in 2nd is Basharat. 3rd place is Shara. Coming in 4th, controversially, is Magomed. Coming in 5th, controversially, is Neil. And coming in 6th, controversially, is Oralbai. Because Oralbai could have very easily been 4, and Magomed and Neil could have been, you know what I mean, banging it out for 5 and 6 as far as I'm concerned with my picks. They are my 6, but that's how I rate those 6, you know what I mean? After that, Hamzat, for all the reasons that I said, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately. And then it's Saeed, man, you know what I mean? Should he be able to get the job done? He should. Is there a night where he doesn't, though? I believe that there is. So it's why he's not up there, man, in my 6, you know what I mean? But he is my 7th leg that I, you know, will be waiting on. Then we have Ishmael coming in at 8. Saeed was 8. Ishmael at 9. Hafel at 10. Bruno at 11. You know what I'm talking about? Max at 12. Renat, and then Kennedy at 13 and 14, man. I have absolutely I want no parts of Kennedy versus Chris. And I can't sit here and tell you Kennedy's just going to go out there and handle his business. I don't want no part of that shit, man. You know what I mean? He fumbled the bag already as a significant favorite. And once again, on the other side, in Chris, he's already cashed more than once as a heavy underdog. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's heavyweight MMA. It's question marks on both sides. It's one heavyweight who's just about the biggest favorite on the card, who already fumbled the bag as a heavy favorite, and another heavy favorite who's one of the biggest underdogs on the card, who's already cashed quite a few times in the past as one of the biggest underdogs on cards that he's been on. You understand what I'm saying to you? Come on, man. Want nothing to do with it. Hanat versus Lean or Leo or whatever his name is. I got too many questions on Hanat still, man. I just don't want to. After the stress I went through, after I wrapped him up in my 8-leg and then telling myself, why the fuck did I do that, man? Because now I'm stressing over that shit. I don't want to put him back up in anything else. I'm cool, man. You know what I mean? And then Max is way down there at 12. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he's the pick. And I believe in him. You know what I mean? But what if Ilya comes out there and wrestle fucks him? You know what I mean? What if he implements a wrestle heavy game, man? Because getting Max up against the cage in the corner somewhere where you could just tee off on him and do your better work, where you're known to do your better work, that's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. You would have to hurt Max, track Max down, catch Max while Max is doing what he's doing, and hurt him to get him to go back in any way, shape, form, or fashion to then follow in and run down on him in the corner with his back up against the cage. Max utilizes that octagon. The angles he cuts, the movement, man, the head movement, just his all-around mobility, his agility, his capabilities inside that octagon, man. If Ilya does not implement a wrestling game in any way, shape, form, or fashion. He will get pieced up, man. He doesn't have the reach. He's got the power, but he's got to get in there. He's got to get in there, man. And Max is known to keep a motherfucker at the end of his jab, at the end of his combinations, at the end of his teeps, at the end of absolutely everything that he wants to keep you at the end of. And now, being counted out as a +2 something underdog, man. You don't know what kind of Max you gonna get in there, man. He might come in here and you know, Calvin him. You know what I mean? Just beat the fucking brakes off of him for 25 minutes, man. You know what I mean? Or 24 minutes and 45 seconds, and then port to the middle of the octagon and give Ilya a chance in close. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know, though. I don't think Ilya's that stupid. I think if Ilya gets to eating a couple things from the outside and can't really get his range and find his find his flow, he's going to either transition to the wrestling and grappling mid-round, or when he comes out that next round, it's going to be a whole nother game plan. He's going to try to go out there and get him down and hold him down. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't know. That's why he has to be down there. I know what Leron going to do. I know what Basharat and Shara are going to do. I'd like to know what Magomed's going to do. I know what Neil and Orobai are going to do. I think I know what Hamzat's going to do. I know what Saeed's capable of, but I know what his opponent's capable of too. I also know Saeed's capable of fumbling a bag. You know what I'm talking about? What Saeed will we get? Ishmael, it is what it is. Ishmael's the pick. Hafel's the pick. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of either one of their opponents. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not high on anything that either one of their opponents has been able to accomplish. And that's just who I'm rocking with. And Bruno over a Boost. It's not a highly confident pick, man. I'd like to see him, implement something to try to get this fight to the ground if he can't find his range. But he's another individual good at crashing through that range and closing that distance, ripping that body, coming over the top and, getting you where he wants to get you. So we'll see how that one go, man. I can see, I could see a Boost possibly. My thing is, I don't know that a Boost is going to find the finish. And if a Boost doesn't find the finish, I don't know that a Boost can win a decision. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily see a Boost finding the finish. I'm not mad at his 2 losses. Who can be mad at his last 2 losses that he's suffered, man? You understand what I'm saying to you? This has nothing to do with that. I just, Bruno's powerful, man. You know what I'm talking about? Bruno Ferreira, that motherfucker's powerful, man. He can fucking crack. And if he touches a Boost, I think a Boost might go to sleep, man. He might fold up. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe it goes the other way. Maybe it goes the other way. Who knows, man? You know what I mean? And then Max, it is what it is, man. I believe Max can go out there and just completely outclass this young man. But this young man does possess the wrestling and grappling and credentials to get him down to that mat and make some shit happen. Being the champion, if he gets that going and, it's a split, he might take that shit. Or maybe it's unanimous and he takes it because, he finds out that he can get Max down. And he can get that good working on Max on the ground. And he can get that control time in. And I don't know, man. I have no idea. Because we've yet to see that from him. We've yet to see him really go out there and lay on anybody or have to continue to string things together, man. It's a fucked up fight, man. It's one that I just want absolutely nothing to do with. I just want to enjoy it, you know what I mean? I just want to enjoy it as a fan. But that's why it's way down there, man. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is, man. Leron, Basharat, Shara, Magomed, Neil, and Orobai. I'm on them heavy. They fumble the bag, for the most part, my bag fumbled. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll tap back in a little bit and give y'all just a few of my personal parlays. I'm finna go put a few more in here shortly. You know what I'm talking about? Peace and blessings.